Hey, what's up, guys? I'm making this video so that way I can show about this chain Zane build. I've learned this from Moxie from YouTube. He put this build together. So I am trying to go in depth on more on how this is done. So I'll try not to go into too much detail. So Chain Zane, the name is somebody named the Chain Zane build. Chain Zane because these redistributors is what gives it that chain effect. You damage an enemy and it chains to other nearby enemies, and they also take damage at the same time while you're shooting another enemy. So the thing is about this Chain's aim build is that it is versatile. You can switch different gears and make this build work without ever changing your skill tree. I for one don't change the skill tree, so it's placed in the skills that I like. So right now I am gonna just give you a quick rundown. So let me show you the weapons first and then the skill tree. So this is basically skill kill like ch chain Zane build. So the redistributor cryo weapon is going to have the anointment of action skill N, radiation damage at the end. This one is going to be shock element, also the same thing, radiation. This one is going to be two magazines will have 100% additional radiation damage. And this one is just going to be for bossing the potent creamer. So right now I am using the bossing gear, which is the Infernal Wish, Hustler, Toboggan. So you just slide, shoot, and you can one-shot a lot of things, like pretty much any boss, depending on what the boss is. You can use a kick charger or you can use the ion cannon, but most of the time I use the potent creamer. And it's piss grenade. So here we go. I'm going to show you the skill tree. So this is the skill tree right here. Eraser is my favorite skill because it allows you to one-shot a lot of things. Unstack commitments right here. Commitment has been nerfed some time ago. A little, like a couple years ago, I think. But it's still great to have. Blue tree is where all the damage is. Basically, I'm going to be using this more often. Violent momentum. So basically, you run. Zane has the ability to increase damage as you're running. So the more speed you're doing, the more damage you'll do. So you just, instead of staying still to shoot, you just move around and shoot. And the more you move around, the more damage you do. Life steal, which is salvation. Salvation allows you to gain life steal, steal life, kill enemies, and gain more life. Hard to go down this way. Um, yeah, playing dirty, violence. You're gonna put two here, five there, one here, one there. This is very good to have. I like having seen red, because it allows you to keep your kill skills activated. So yeah, duct tape mod. Just put one skill point there, so that way when you fire your gun, it automatically releases a grenade, and that grenade is you want to use the it's pissed grenade. Once the grenade is thrown out there, by any means, once it's thrown out there, it'll use the anointments, increase your damage skill for 6 seconds by 25% more. And my bad, my phone was ringing. 1 second. I really don't want to have any interruptions right now. Okay, so it's piss grenade. I'm using a bossing source right now. So, this is for bossing. So when you want to do some mobbing, all you gotta do is just switch to the Revolter. I'm using triple God Roll Vagabond. I did not farm for this. Somebody gave it to me. It's kind of hard to get. I mean, it's easy to get the Revolter, but it's hard to get that roll. So I'm using Revolter. I'm going to be using the Seen Dead Hyperion with Hyperion Fire Rate, SMG, Hyperion Critical Damage. You don't necessarily have to have all three of those matching perks. You could just have SMG and Hyperion Fire Rate or something like that. The artifacts you can use. You can use Victory Rush, Icebreaker Victory Rush, or you can use Snowdrift Victory Rush. Just make sure it has an MSG on there. But I like to use the, yeah, I like to use the, where is it? I just saw it. Oh, here it is. I like to use this right here. So you can use the Icebreaker Victory Rush, or you can use the Company Man, the Hyperion Company Man, for extra bonuses. But I'm just gonna use this for now for extra mag. You know, it's good to have more mag. So when you're doing bossing, just switch to Infernal Wish, switch to Hustler, and then switch to Toboggan. Just slide and shoot and kill a lot of things and one-shot things. Or you, and when you're doing mobbing, you can just use these right here, which is what I'm going to do. When you're going to be doing bossing, the most important thing to do when you're doing bossing is make sure you have proliferation. What this does, it gives you extra charges to your Mantis Cannon. Those extra charges will count as additional damage to your weapons. So the more charges you have, the more damage, the more gun damage you'll do. So make sure you don't always spam the cannon a lot, because you're going to need all of those additional charges to apply to your shots. When you're doing mobbing and not bossing, but when you're doing mobbing, just switch from this to this right here. This will allow you to pull an enemy straight to you and do extra gun damage, and it increases your cooldown for your action skill. And the duration of this is 6 seconds per shot. So, and other than that, so by the way, you notice that I have 165 skill points. Somebody wanted to do a glitch where they overload the game, something like that. They make the game glitchy, which will allow you to reset your skill points and then increase your skill points until your entire skill tree is full. I don't really use all these skill points. I'm doing things legit, so I only use 70 skill points. So don't think that I'm a cheater or whatever, trying to give false information or whatever. I only use 70 skill points. All right, so right now I'm in a bossing position. I mean, I'm in a mobbing position. So I am using No Way Out. And when I want to do bossing, I'll switch to proliferation. But for now, I'm going to do mobbing. So I'm going to use mainly the cryo. I'm going to use the Revolter, the Scene Dead, and the Victory Rush, Piss Grenade. You can also use Mesmer Grenade. Like a Mesmer Grenade, if it pops out, you can have an enemy fight alongside you for a few seconds, but I don't always care about that. I just prefer gun damage or weapon damage, you know. So let's go ahead and go to Malawan Takedown. I'm going to show you just how well this stacks up. One of the best things about this build is that it is versatile. You can, I think I said that before, I'm not sure, but it is versatile. You can use this for mobbing, you can use this for bossing. I never have to change my skill tree. I can always use that build. Flint Eastwood. Somebody did a skill on that called Flint Eastwood. You know, Zane Flint, but it's like Clint Eastwood, but it's Flint Eastwood. Basically built on Jacob weapons and critical shots. You can one shot. You can use the skill tree and use the Flint Eastwood build and one shot any ad with just one shot of a critical shot. You know, almost pretty much. So all right, so let's go ahead and do this. I'm gonna go ahead and do this on true Vault Hunter mode, because why not? Let's take things to the extreme. Let me make sure I have my skill points set. Okay, so I'm using No Way Out for mobbing. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to be sliding a lot and moving a lot. So it's important to move. It is important to move while shooting. He is hiding behind that gun, so. I am not a good shot. I miss a lot of times. Like, how can I miss? But, you know. Don't criticize me. All right, let's do this. Charge right in. Okay, I'm gonna switch to my bossing gear. There's something I forgot to mention earlier, but I'll mention it to you in a little while. But in the meantime, let me just switch to my bossing gear. Switch this over. Okay, here goes. One shot, and I wanted to mention something, but I'll mention it to you in a bit, which is important for mobbing. But let me just go ahead and do this real quick. And the best part is, I don't have to leave this spot. And he is already taken out. And that guy is already taken out. So. Look at that. One shot at the boss, one shot at the... One shot at the enemies, and it already still took effect and took out the 3 bosses at once. It kind of counts as one boss, but it's like 3 separate bosses on here. From there, you know. Alright, so one thing I wanted to mention was that it's important to have your skill points into... Green tree isn't always used a lot. Because really good builds don't always require green tree. Green tree really serves no purpose. That's important for, you know, competitive builds. But you're going to want to just spec here and spec there and then put your skill points into charge relay and all-rounder. So the important thing with all-rounder is that when you're doing mobbing, when you're shooting ads, your redistributor has an amp shot. You see how it's glowing? It gives off an amp shot, but it also gives an amp shot every 7 shot. So if you look closely, every 7 shot, it blinks. But every 7 shot, it gives off a burst. But if you wear your all-round barrier and have it equipped, every shot is an amp shot. You see that? Every shot is an amp shot. It's not blinking. That's because every shot is an amp shot. So you don't have to, you know, do every 7th round when the barrier just increases your shot and gives you every amp shot, you know. So something I forgot to mention. Okay, I'm gonna stick with the bossing loadout for this. There's gonna be too many enemies. And I don't have a problem with taking out enemies using the mobbing gear, but I just want to hurry up and get through this. So I'm going to take them all out at once, you know. So I take out a few enemies there, then I go up here. And the one thing I wish about the one thing I wish that Zane had was ammo regeneration, but so far only Moe's has that. Moe's has most of the good stuff. you know, but I have to rely on enemies dropping ammo just so I can pick it up and restore, you know. Ooh, is that ammo? Yeah, I think. So when you're doing this, when you're using the bossing build just to kill ads, it's best not to abuse uh it's best not to abuse wasting all your rockets, because then you might need them, you know.
Open your bloody eyes!
And right now I'm starting to run out of rockets and they're not dropping any ammo. Okay. I'm waiting for the other enemies. One more. No ammo there. I hate it when they take a long time to come out. It kind of kills the speed run if you're trying to do a speed run. Look at that. Now it opens. Alright. So I guess this game is acting kind of weird. I am going to go ahead and skip these enemies and make my way to the top. I just had to kill them because I don't like them. Alright, here goes. Just shoot. Slide and shoot. Okay, I can take out more of them. And I kind of like to wait until these guys come out instead of me just going straight to them. Another important thing to realize is that if you're facing against mobs or bosses with this build, with using the bossing gear, the important thing to notice is that when it comes to the potent creamer, you gain more damage the farther it travels. When you fire your rocket, it gains more damage. If an enemy is right up to your face, you know, like kissing distance, like he's all up in your face, and you just fire a rocket right at his freaking head, it's not gonna do anything. It's not gonna do crap. Your damage is abysmal. This rocket right here, it's better if you use a kick charger or a plague bearer or a other types of rockets. But this one right here, I like this one because it requires me to keep my distance, and the moment I fire my rocket, it has to travel for at least a good mill of a second or whatever. If it explodes too soon, it's not going to do any damage. So it's better to keep your distance, you know. Otherwise, you're better off using other rockets. This rocket isn't the best, but I like using this because I'm all about speed, you know. I like to slide around and shoot. Alright, here we go. I'll try not to talk too much because I concentrate better when I'm not talking.
Now that is definitely your target. Light that giant bastard up.
Oh, I missed. Okay. And then I'm gonna go ahead and my dome. There we go. And I'm gonna try to take him out with one shot. Ah, I didn't.
How's that for a takedown, you angry
Normally I take him out with one shot when they're splitting apart.
Kicking will make Malawan think twice before they come at us
But
again.
yeah, not always. Sometimes when they're splitting apart, when they're in the middle of splitting apart, I wait at a certain time, and then I just fire and shoot and kill both of them at the same time. But I guess the other projectile didn't hit, so you guys kind of get the idea. So this is Chain Zane. You know, wear the Chain Zane build, and you just go around and shoot, and everything will just die. Spam your cannon and things will die as well, you know. Yeah, so this is it. This is Chain Zane. I know people could pull this off better than I can. I'm a little slow right now. People can use a different type of rocket and not have to go through all this, but I'm just showing you from my point of view. With this, you can kill anything. I used the same ability, the same build. I used the same build to one-shot the Hag of Fervor. If you go to my videos and look and see my videos, you'll see a video that's titled Hag of Fervor one-shot kill or something like that. The Hag of Fervor. The boss has 2 phases of health. You take down his health, it turns gray for a second. You can't harm him for a few seconds, and then, you know, attack him again. I used a Globetrotter, and I charged into him, fired my Globetrotter, spammed my Mantis Cannon, and with one shot, it took down 2 phases of his health. So feel free to look that up on my channel if you want. Well, this is it. This build is pretty good. The only downside is that I waste ammo when it comes to rockets. I'm firing my rockets out of nowhere and I can't recharge it. That's my fault. It's not an issue for anybody else, but it's my fault that I go around and just start spamming out of nowhere. Like, I have a tendency to just slide, shoot, and before I know it, I realize I'm losing rockets and I need it for the other things. Alright, so that's it. So this is for bossing. This gear right here is for mobbing. Right here. That's not it. But you guys get the idea. You guys know what artifacts on here. Feel free to go back and check, rewind, check it out. And this is my bossing build right here. I mean, mobbing build, and this is pretty much it right here. Mobbing, bossing, mobbing, bossing. It's just a matter of gear, you know. And if you want to do like use other types of builds, you can keep the same skill tree. But hopefully you guys like this. I'm not on my A game, so I didn't one shot Wotan like I normally do. But you know, well, that's it. Have fun, guys.